All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And this will be this is the later edition. Um, but it shouldn't be long because there really wasn't a lot of news, okay? But let me just say the stuff I have to say for the intro. Um, Everywhere I post except YouTube, I post under my FX Buddies. Spotify.com has video and audio, and I've been told the sound is better there. Uh, let's see. Rumble, my FX Buddies, RSS.com has a wonderful transcript. That's my FX Buddies. I'm trying to enunciate my words better, but it's not happening. It's not going to work. Anyway, I already speak too slow as it is. All right. And what else? There's one thing I'm missing. Amazon, Apple, all those things. Just, the blog. My favorite place. My favorite place for you to go is the blog, which is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And I know that's a lot to try to type in or whatever. So wherever you are listening or watching, look for a more intro, open, or, why aren't I saved as one of your favorites? Okay? I don't get it by now. I should be saved. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sleepy and I get even more silly when I'm sleepy. Anyway, so if you click on those boxes, another box opens and a link to the blog is there. And the blog is free. You don't have to put your email or anything. Okay, so, and Fairy's disclaimer, YouTube, anything that I use, show, discuss, cover falls under Fairy's disclaimer because it's for critique, commenting, sharing, teaching. All right, now we're done. Okay, so let me I'm just going to do like a little summary. So there was a really good article, and I'm waiting to see if there's a contradiction. It seems okay, so there's 3 age groups. One ends in Bola, right? Then there's Amas, and then the other one is the H people, right? Okay, so 2 of them are considering de-arming with conditions, but at least they're considering. So if I don't see any contradictory articles tomorrow, which will be Friday, I'll post that because I'm not going to talk about it, but I'll put it on the blog for those of you who like to read articles like that. It'll be there. And it's not widely posted. It's on Arabic. Matter of fact, I think it's in Jordan. I think Jordan is posting it. But anyway, most of the articles today were about the new Pope. Okay, so, well, most of the articles in the morning started out being, oh my gosh, about the dinar dollar exchange. And so I did a special edition, and here it is. It's going to be posted below at the bottom of this blog or on the YouTube channel. And you see it's short, it's 14 minutes, but very good. So I'm not going to cover what's in here on this blog here, okay? All right, so that would be stuff I would talk about. And then Sudani went to Turkey and he signed 10 more memorandums of understanding. They still haven't implemented the 27 that he signed, 5 months ago? The last time he went there, or they came to him, one of the two, They signed 27 memorandums of understanding, right? But that'll be here. The ones that they did are posted here. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so this is a very interesting article. Economic imbalance. Iran is at risk of losing Iraq soon. I highly doubt it. It would be nice, but they're so intertwined. But let's see what, and I don't know why they have the oil. This is gas. I think this is gas. But anyway, it's a nice picture though, right? They make pretty pictures, even though they're toxic. They make pretty pictures, in my opinion. All right, so we'll just go over this. So this is from the American Middle East Forum Institute. They've monitored economic imbalance between Iraq and Iran, noting that the potential strategic repercussions of diminishing Iranian economic influence in Iraq in the coming period could leave Tehran vulnerable to losing Baghdad, as it is one of its last significant geopolitical and financial defenses in the region. So, see, if this administration breaks them apart, it's probably the first time in a long time. They've been, but they still won't be because of, I don't know exactly what percentage, but a big percentage of their politicians are Iranian. Remember, maybe it wasn't you guys, but there was an article. It showed Maliki Abadi, Amiri, and this Khalid. I don't know how to say his name. Uh, and it says they're making a trip to Iran to make their electoral billing. So they're going over to get directions from probably Khomeini himself, right? But yeah, so all right. Let's see. Domestic obtaining payments due to U.S. sanctions. Iran continues to export energy resources to Iraq. See, remember I said that yesterday? This represents a contradiction in its long-term geopolitical calculations, which aim to deeply entrench its influence in the Iraqi economy and political system. So let's see. Here's about the oil, which they could get oil anywhere, right? Once we're up and running, they could get oil from us, right? Let's see. So they're talking about trade, and they have expressed wanting to increase trade with Iran for like $20 billion, some crazy amount, right? So I doubt that's going to happen, but anyway, all right. So you can read this, but I'm not because it says this, and I don't want to say this right now either. But if you're just listening and you just happen to go, I'm gonna read a paragraph right now that's bolded, and the one right before that is the one that I'm not reading. Okay? All right. After noting the numerous restrictions imposed by the U.S. Treasury Department on several Iraqi banks, the report explained that these measures have made it more difficult for Iran to access hard currency through Iraq, a vital lifeline in light of Tehran's broader isolation from the global financial system. And that's why I thought it was so interesting that yesterday J.D. Vance said if the talks continue to go well, Iran just may be entered back into the global financial system. So maybe they're ready to get along now. Or, we change leadership every 4 years, so they can fake it for 4 years, right? So there's more, but it's quite a lengthy article, but that was the part that I really wanted to read to you. He emphasized Iran's economic influence over Iraq remains significant but fragile, right? Also, he pointed out that if Iraq succeeds in reducing imports of Iranian goods, replacing Iranian gas with local or Turkmen supplies, and enhancing the compliance of its banking system with international standards, Iran could lose one of its last significant geopolitical and financial defenses in the region. So, see, that's why I figured that that pipe thing that I was showing was gas. The report considered that for the U.S. and its allies, strengthening Iraq's energy independence and financial stability should be a strategic priority, adding that for Iran, the cost of clinging to Iraq in the near future could outweigh the benefits. And yes, today we put more sanctions on something to do with Iran oil um, entities or people or something. So, meanwhile, we're supposed to be having talks that are going so well, right? Anyway, so they made this headline red, not me. And I didn't cover him this morning because normally he's positive and I like to read him, but I'm not liking what he's saying here. Because, oh, if you don't know, the parallel market rate got down to 1410 today. It closed at 1420, but it was at 1410. So that's wonderful. And they were talking about it, and they're like, now, if we get to 1350, then the parallel market is considered collapsed. But I think they just need to get to 1390. Okay, so here's his reasoning. Most notably, the traveler's dollar. Sudani's advisor reveals the reason for the exchange rate's decline. And when that headline is read, it's urgent at that particular website. So he revealed on Thursday reasons for the decline in the dollar exchange rate. Three factors. One of them is weak demand in the parallel market, which is great. We want that. The central bank's success in financing foreign trade by strengthening the dollar with national bank correspondents abroad, encouraging financing small businesses without costly intermediaries like the parallel market, right? Because the middleman took a cut. So that's what he's saying, that those three things led to the decline and they're temporary and it'll go back up. So right here you can see they're paying to the travelers, and there's a lot of travelers right now because they're making what they call the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, where they walk around that black rock. So they go through Iraq and they get dollars there. But the CBI has been very good about letting them know the legitimate places they can go. It's Ramadan and Rashid Bank, which are state approved. They're open extra hours. They're open on the weekend. So they're making it very convenient for the people to go to legitimate places so that there's no pressure on the dollar. And then once they stop coming through, there won't be any more pressure, right? So I don't like that he's saying that it's temporary. But what do I know, right? I mean, he's way more intelligent than I am. He's got a PhD. All right. So if you want to read that, you can. There's my one commercial. Buy me a coffee if you can. Thank you. Or Cash App or PayPal. Okay, this is very interesting. A new digital gateway. Iraq launches first unified telecom transit route. So I was trying to find out what this DIL stood for, but that's just the company's name, I believe. So this lady here, she's the communications minister. So they finalized the deal with DIL Technology, a Kurdish licensed firm. So Baghdad is hiring a Kurdish company. So that's nice, but it's also going through the route of the development road. So that's nice too. So you could read that if you like. This is a good article. The dollar bows. Okay, so I read this title on the little short special edition that I did, but I didn't go through the article. The dollar bows to sanctions when politicians pretend for fear of American wrath, not the pain of citizens. So they're saying anything that they're doing that seems beneficial is for the squeezing that we're putting on them, not because they care about the citizens. And that's why I used to say, anytime they post an article for the citizens, and I'd say, because it's all about the citizens, but we know better. So here they talked about the decline of the dollar, the parallel market rate. This decline did not come by chance, but rather as a result of a long battle waged by the state, along with the Americans, against the parallel economy system, smuggling arms, and a fragile banking system accustomed to financing without accountability or oversight. So we've put the clamps on them, and I think it's because they are getting ready to make that change, right? So financial authorities have begun to push for adherence to the official exchange rate, and the dollar on the parallel market will continue to decline until it approaches the rate legally set by the CBI. And when that happens, the parallel market is gone totally. So let's see. You could read this. It's a good article. Just details. But here is the government, Iraqi government, trying to win Washington's favor. Yeah, probably. For a little while anyway, right? Economic observers indicate that the current government has found this issue an opportunity to reshape its image before the international community, particularly Washington. After years of accusations of corruption and money laundering, the government now needs to present a new, reformist face. One that suggests Iraq has begun to care about its people, not just its own pockets. See, so yeah, so here the parallel market, a state in the shadows. So they're admitting now, we knew all along there was more, 2, possibly 3 sets of books, shadow economy. Heck, we have a shadow economy here, right? The numbers don't lie. Market and citizen losses between the $2. They're just saying that. So yeah, the narrowing of the gap is a positive indicator of the improving economic situation and reflects the Central Bank of Iraq's efforts to control the parallel market. But again, are they doing it or are they doing it because we're making them? And it's probably the latter. So there's more here. That's a really long article if you want to read it. Okay, 9 reasons for the sudden drop in the dollar. Excuse me. In Iraq, an economist explains. And I'm just going to go over the headlines or subtitles, whatever. So if you want to read, because it's good, everything's. So even he says approaching 1420. So maybe at the time that they wrote this article, it was earlier in the day before the last price quote or whatever they call it. All right. Number 1, declining demand versus abundant supply. Number 2, investors shift towards gold. Number 3, dollar inflow from non-oil sources. Number 4, the decline in the money supply of the dinar. And there's people who've been into our land who think that something has to happen. The money supply has to get to a certain point, and they're doing it, right? Number 5, declining imports and trade contraction. Number 6, diversify channels for obtaining dollars at the official price. So it's readily available. They don't have to go, it's readily available. They don't have to go to the parallel market anymore. Number 7, the impact of regional conditions. They're importing more from different people, and they list Syria, but Jordan, Turkey. So they're importing more from, yeah, okay, I will just leave that there. Number 8, pressure on the smuggled oil trade. Yeah. And number 9, decline in the trade of prohibited substances. Yeah, they've been clamping down on that too. And not just drugs. I know that sounds like it's drugs, but there's certain meat they don't want in their country. Certain textiles. What's that? Yeah. So it's not just, when you read a mm, word like that, you automatically think drugs, which it is. And then also medications. They're making their own medications now. They don't want other people bringing theirs in, right? Okay, learn about the 10 memorandums of understanding signed between the Prime Minister and the Turkish President. And it was a big deal. They shot cannons for him. I think 10 or 8 cannons, and yeah, it was an official visit for sure. So here they are. I'll just go through them really quick. Cooperation in fields of defense industries and exchange of expertise. Apparently, Turkey has a really highly skilled military and good quality armament and drones, like modern, very modern. Number 2, cooperation of opening a branch of the Turkish University in Baghdad and Basra. Standard operating procedures for voluntary return of Iraqi citizens from Turkey. Emergency and disaster management. Now here's a draft memorandum. Okay, so does that have even less power to it? But judicial fields. Cooperation in fields of digital public relations. Number 7, field of combating illicit drug trafficking. Number 8, field of measurement and calibration activities. And number 9, oh, this is supposed to be 10, right? Yeah, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's weird. 2 memorandums in training cooperation for the Minister of Interior. So that's it. So like I said, I'll have this is the short special edition I did this morning. Very positive, very positive. All right, so thanks for watching this weekend. Oh wait, no. Tomorrow's Friday. So scrap that. I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say, if you find my efforts helpful, give me a like and a subscribe. And a thumbs up, right? Or the thumbs up is the like. I don't know. Anyway, so accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Thank you again for all the smart people that listen and leave comments. And the thank yous, I really appreciate it. So I'm forgetting something, right? I don't think so. That's it. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are taking this information in. And until next time.